What happens when AI stops guessing what we want and actually starts listening? Think about it. For years, agencies just couldn't rely on generative AI for strict client briefs because it was literally like pulling a slot machine handle. You type a prompt, you cross your fingers, and you just kind of hope for the best. But what happens to the creative economy when the machine stops spitting out random variations and actually executes your exact, targeted design intent?
Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll kick off with the jump from basic prompts to massive pipelines. Then look at precision in visual design, explore interactive gaming, touch on the big music copyright wars, and wrap up with an artistic movement called felt realism. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. From prompts to pipelines, we are witnessing the absolute end of isolated asset generation.
The first week of July proved that AI is no longer just this cute standalone utility. Mega deals like the massive SpaceX AI restructuring show we're building these huge interconnected ecosystems now. Listen to this. SpaceX executed an all-stock acquisition of Anisphere. They're the startup behind the AI coding editor Cursor for a staggering $60 billion. $60 billion! Why does that matter? Because it signals the absolute end of enterprise AI neutrality. We aren't talking about a smart text box anymore. By gobbling up Cursor, they are turning standard text editors into massive cognitive engines. We're talking about entire development environments powered by superclusters. It is fundamentally changing how digital infrastructure is built right from the ground up.
Moving to Section 2, Precision in Visual Design. We are finally moving way beyond the prompt and pray era.
This pipeline approach, it's already completely revolutionizing visual design. And honestly, if you're operating in high-volume content markets, like India's booming advertising sector, this isn't just a cool feature. It is absolutely crucial for scaling production and hitting those tight client deliverables. A perfect example is ByteDance dropping Seedream 5.0 Pro on July 8th. It is built strictly for professional pipelines. We're talking pixel-level interactive editing just through natural language. You don't need to mess with a lasso tool, you just chat with the AI. Plus, it introduces region semantics, which means the AI actually understands exactly where to place objects in a 3D space. Throw in its ability to natively generate dense infographics across multiple languages, and seamless localization is suddenly a reality. For Indian ad agencies juggling dozens of regional dialects, oh man, this is an absolute game changer.
Think about the massive contrast we're seeing in workflows now. We have officially gone from hoping a single flat image looks somewhat right to commanding an AI to generate over 10 independent, fully transparent layers that you can tweak one by one. Picture an ad pipeline where the AI automatically separates the background, the hero subject, the props, and the typography into distinct layers. Need to swap out a parrot for a peacock for a specific regional campaign? You can do it without ruining the background, because the AI actually in-paints whatever was hidden behind the original subject. This is that production-ready, pinpoint control that commercial studios have been practically begging for. And hey, this level of control is hitting video too. Google DeepMind's OmniFlash now lets creators seamlessly change lighting and shadows just by chatting with an API. Released right around the same time as Seedream, this is part of Google's any-to-any Omni family. So instead of having to regenerate a whole entire video because the lighting feels a bit off, you just tell the API, hey, make it daytime, and boom, the model dynamically recalculates the sky, the volumetric shadows, the ambient reflections across up to 10 seconds of video. And since it features conversational multi-turn editing, you can just keep giving it feedback in a back-and-forth chat. It's exactly like sitting in a dark room directing a human editor. It's incredible.
Section 3. AI, Interactive, and Gaming. Let's see how this incredible precision scales up into live, personalized experiences.
Precision isn't just for static media anymore. Meta quietly launched this experimental app called Pocket, which introduces us to something called Gizmos. This is wild. It proves that casual gamers can now literally vibe code, meaning you just describe the mood and mechanics you want in plain English, and it builds an entire interactive world from a single sentence. Pocket takes a one-line prompt, something like, make a drawing gizmo where the flower is the paintbrush, and instantly spins up a playable, remixable minigame that actually responds to your phone's tilt, touch, and camera. It's a sneak peek into a very near future where social feeds aren't just scrolling videos, but customized, interactive software generated right there on the fly.
Now, on the heavy commercial side,
Hey7 just launched a platform functioning as an autonomous 24/7 player development expert, and it's driving retention in ways human teams literally cannot match. While Meta's over there doing user-generated fun, Hey7 is laser-focused on enterprise gaming and casinos. Their AI-native platform analyzes player behavior to spin up hyper-personalized gameplay environments and incentives. Putting my consultant hat on, the ROI here is off the charts. Having a tireless, multilingual host that compound learns from every single interaction to boost your average revenue per user, that is the absolute holy grail for customer retention.
Ultimately, the crucial point here is scale. To put that into perspective, look at IBM Bob extracting a staggering 15,000 digital assets in just 47 minutes. 15,000! When you are managing a massive global event, speed and data integration mean everything. This massive modernization of Wimbledon's digital platforms mapped relationships across articles, photos, videos, and metadata way faster than any human team could even dream of. And all those assets powered Wimbledon's Watson X platform, flawlessly blending real-time match data with decades of historical archives. It creates this incredibly conversational fan experience. The AI Match Chat Assistant lets fans ask totally natural questions about the game, pulling instant insights from the live play and tennis history. But here's the really cool part. It integrates with new localization tools, like 11 Labs' recent rollout of localized AI voice packages for underserved Indian and African dialects. That right there proves that hyper-personalized, culturally fluent global fan engagement is the new baseline.
Section 4. The Music Copyright Wars. It's the battle of walled gardens versus open frontiers.
Of course, true disruption always brings intense friction, right? As this tech hits enterprise-grade maturity, the legal foundation of the AI music industry is completely fracturing. We're seeing a classic market bifurcation between the top players. Udio is building a highly licensed, safe, walled garden, while Suno is out there aggressively defending its open framework under fair use. Following some major label settlements, Udio totally disabled user downloads and stem exports, so you can't download individual instrument tracks anymore, and they shifted to paying out per-generation royalties. Suno? Totally different approach. They maintain downloadable exports and commercial rights for paid users, and they are choosing to fight Universal Music Group and Sony in court. They're arguing that training on copyrighted works is transformative and firmly constitutes fair use. And the existential threat to open models is escalating fast. Universal Music Group and Sony are trying to massively expand their lawsuit against Suno by adding over 61,000 recordings. The labels actually use an audio fingerprinting service to identify their works buried inside Suno's training data. It is a highly aggressive, deeply calculated move. Now, a judge in a parallel case against Udio actually denied a similar expansion, saying it would create a lawsuit so big no single judge could ever deal with it. But Suno is currently fighting tooth and nail to prevent this massive escalation in their own Massachusetts courtroom. Because if the labels are successful, this expansion could push Suno's theoretical statutory damages to an astronomical $9 billion. $9 billion. That completely redefines the risk of AI training. Under U.S. copyright law, willful infringement caps at $150,000 per work. Multiply that by 61,026 recordings, and you leap from an $84 million headache to a $9 billion existential crisis. Seriously, for anyone building or investing in AI, this Massachusetts courtroom is literally going to dictate the financial boundaries of generative tech for the rest of the decade.
Section 5. The Rise of Felt Realism. Let's talk about human intent in the age of AI cinema.
Amidst all these billion-dollar lawsuits and enterprise pipelines, we have to talk about the human element. How are independent creators emotionally responding to all this cold computation? Well, at the UN-backed AI for Good Film Festival, we saw a global community pushing back to tell deeply human stories. The festival drew over 1,300 submissions. First place went to Plastic Erosion from China, making the abstract horror of marine pollution devastatingly tangible. Second place went to Utility from Japan, a super fascinating dystopian look at human value. And third went to a clever Thai satire called The Homo Sapiens Family.
What's fascinating is that these filmmakers are pioneering a movement called felt realism. They are intentionally injecting physical imperfections into their AI outputs, prioritizing artistic texture over digital perfection. They are actively rebelling against that glossy, hyper-perfect, slightly creepy aesthetic that defined early AI video. By forcing the AI to replicate the tactile softness of stop motion or the physical grain of old film stock, they're making a massive statement. And for content creators, especially in fiercely competitive markets like India's ad industry, the lesson here is crystal clear. Perfection is now cheap. Anyone can do perfect. Human visual texture and authentic storytelling, those are your new premium differentiators.
I think Erica Taranto said it best in one of the festival submissions. She said,
AI was the brush, never the brain. And honestly, that beautifully captures the entire thesis of our explainer today. Whether you're an ad executive generating localized commercial content in transparent layers, a game developer spinning up casino environments, or a filmmaker tackling global pollution, the technology is merely the mechanism. The magic is still in the execution of human intent.
So I want to leave you with this executive challenge. Now that we have precision pipelines and incredibly powerful brushes, the only true differentiator left is you, your human intent. The tools have evolved from guessing to listening. They can build worlds, separate layers, edit shadows on the fly. The friction is no longer in the mechanics of creation.